Hi everyone, it's Anne Sinclair from Digestive Detective. Today's Thursday tip is coffee good or bad? Now I get asked this question a lot and my answer is, well, it depends. So the people who should drink coffee are people who are drinking coffee and not relying on it for energy. You know, they're not using it to rev themselves up. So there are many studies saying that coffee are good for us, that's loaded with antioxidants, and which is a bit sad really because there's plenty of antioxidants in vegetables and fruit. We don't really need to get them from coffee. You know, and plus with fruit and vegetables, you won't get the highs and lows that you'll get with coffee. There's some other studies saying that it helps slow the progress of dementia and Alzheimer's. And it does this by revving up the central nervous system and speeding up the activity in the brain. So yes, it can be useful for that. Can help with depression because it improves our the body's uptake of dopamine and it increases that. So there are better ways to increase your dopamine. One of them is to jump in the ocean or have a really cold shower. And again, you don't get the highs and the lows that come along with that. One of the other studies say that it's good for fat loss, so it's thermogenic, and that's true too. But it only works if you drink your coffee black. Now, I don't know many people that drink black coffee, but if you do and you're using it for weight loss, then that's the right thing to do. So the other one is it can help with digestion, and not many people drink it for that reason either, because it stimulates the bitter receptors in our tongue, and we have bitter receptors right the way through our digestive system. But it's better to use it this way if you're having it after the meal and not before the meal. So once you have it after the meal, it will stimulate your hydrochloric acid, but you must have it at the end of the meal. And you want the hydrochloric acid to be stimulated after the meal. That's the whole point of, you know, it'll help break your proteins and your carbohydrates and stuff down. So that's when you want to do it. So if you love coffee, this is the best way to have it for you. So if you don't have any of the other things I'll talk about in a minute. So you can only have it in the morning. But not when you wake up, because when you wake up, you've been asleep for 6 to 10 hours, somewhere in that range. You've had no liquid during that time. Your body's already dehydrated. So you put coffee into it, and then you even dehydrate yourself even more. So, and when you're putting it in on an empty stomach, what you're doing is you're overstimulating your central nervous system. And the other reasons is because in the morning, so the other reason for having it in the morning is in the morning we have naturally high cortisol levels, which is what you wake, which is what you're supposed to do. On waking, your cortisol level is supposed to be high. It's supposed to get gradually decline through the day so you can get into bed at night. So in the morning, your cortisol level is already really high. So having a coffee, you know, after you've had breakfast will increase your cortisol level. And this is the natural rhythm of your body. But having it in the afternoon, you will increase your cortisol level, but your natural rhythm is in the afternoon, your cortisol level is supposed to be coming down. So you're revving up your system. Now, who's it bad for? So anybody, I think, that's prone to anxiety, who gets overwhelmed, who has panic attacks, or adrenal fatigue especially. If you're, you know, adrenally exhausted, you cannot drink caffeine in any form. So black tea, energy drinks or coffee, and sometimes even chocolate for people. It will make you feel good at the outset, but then you have a huge crash as you come down from the coffee. So anybody else with sleep issues, insomnia, restless legs, or if you grind your teeth while you're asleep, any of those sorts of things, because that means your nervous system is already revved up. You know, it's going already. And anybody with neurological issues, coffee should be out for you. And why should it be out? Because, again, it revs up the nervous system. It puts you into fight and flight response rather than settling you down to rest and digest. And the body's preferred option is not to be in fight or flight. So if you're already exhausted and you're drinking coffee, it speeds up your nervous system. It seems like a really good idea when you're doing it because you think it'll give me more energy, I'll be able to get up and go. But what it does, it takes you up high and then it will drop you down and it will deplete you more and more as you have more coffee. And things to remember if you're going to drink coffee, if you choose to drink coffee, make sure it's organic coffee and make sure it's water sorry, let's go back. Make sure it's organic coffee. Coffee is one of the dirtiest crops around. It's heavily sprayed with pesticides and stuff. If you're using decaf, because I know a lot of people use decaf, make sure it's water processed, because generally they process it using gasoline, which is probably not what you want in your coffee. You know, I haven't had a cup of coffee for almost 20 years. I don't miss it. I don't miss the smell of it. But I understand how people get so addicted to it and love it as a social thing. So, you know, choose which camp you're in, whether you choose to drink coffee or not. And I'll see you next week for Thursday's tip. Look forward to it.